Hi everyone. We are going to be looking at one-to-one different types of solutions. So there's three examples we're going to go through and we're going to look at what happens and what does that mean when we're solving an equation. So anytime we're solving an equation, we're trying to figure out what the variable should be so that we get a true statement for the equation. So we're going to look at this first one here. And I know you can't really see it, but it should show up in your pack a little bit better. This does say 8x. The printer kind of messed that up a little bit. It was a little bit lighter. So I'm going to draw a line through the middle. And something I noticed is I do have variables on both sides. So I just want to get all of my x's together first. So I'm going to move my 3x to this side because it is smaller. So to move this, it is positive. I want to subtract 3x from the right and subtract 3x from the left. I have to make sure that I keep it balanced. When I simplify what I have, these will go away. 8x minus 3x is 5x. I can bring down this minus 4, so minus 4. I still have my equal sign, and this positive 1 I can bring down as well. Now I have two more steps that I need to do to solve. To get x by itself, I want to do the inverse of subtraction. So I'm going to add 4 onto both sides. These will cancel out because they are inverses of each other. I can bring down my 5x equals 1 plus 4 is 5. These are being multiplied because they are squished together. So I'm going to use the inverse and divide. When I divide, I get x equals 1. This doesn't look anything different from what we have been doing. So what this means is there's only one value for x that makes this true. X can only be a positive one. X is not any other number. So this means there is one solution. And x can only be 1 to make our equation true. This will happen the majority of the time, so we are solving for that one solution and we happen to get the x equals 1. So we would say our answer is x equals 1. We're going to do the second one here. I'm still going to draw a line through my equal sign. Again, I notice I do have variables on both sides. I do have constants on both sides. I want to move my variables first. So I'm going to move this 2m over here. So I'm going to subtract 2m from the right and subtract 2m from the left. What happens, 2m minus 2m turns to 0. So that goes away. I have my positive 3 equals, I still have this positive 3. 2m minus 2m also turns to 0. That disappears as well. And this is weird because I don't have any variables. So my variables disappear, and that's special. That's something that's new. So we're going to say our variables disappear. And so I want to look here and ask myself, is this a true statement? Does positive 3 equal positive 3? It does. So what this means is that there are infinite solutions. So I can choose any number, any value for m, and it would make a true statement. So this happens when our variables disappear. And we are left with a true statement. And so if you get a question like this on a test or on homework, you would actually write infinite solutions. That would be your answer. You're not going to write x equals or m equals anything. You would write infinite solutions. The last one, I'm going to start it the same way. I want to get all my variables together, and so I'm going to move, this time I'm going to move this W to this side just to be a little different. So I'm going to subtract W because it is positive. There's only one of them, so I'm going to subtract it from both sides. Then I want to simplify. W minus W turns to 0. That goes away. I'm left with a positive 7. W minus W turns to 0. And I still have negative 32. So again, I noticed that my variables disappeared. So my W's are all gone. So I have to ask myself, is this a true statement? Does 7 equal a negative 32? That is not true. So I'm going to cross a line through my equal sign. That's not a true statement. So what that means is there is no solution. There is no number for W that I could plug in that would make this a true statement. No number works. So there's no solution for this. And this happens when, again, our variables disappear. And we are left with a false statement. So if this happens, your answer would be no solution. You would actually have to write this part down and tell us that you understand that there's no value for our variable to make this true, so there's no solution. So up until now, we've seen numbers for solutions. You get one solution. You would actually write what that one solution is. If our variables disappear and we get a true statement, it's infinite solutions. If our variables disappear and we get a false statement, it is no solution. You can get any of these on a test or on homework. So this was on page 9. What you guys are going to do for homework is you're going to flip over to page 10, and then in the independent practice, you're going to do all 3 of them. So all 3 of these are your homework. Make sure that you let us know if you have any questions, and if you're struggling, watch the extra help video as well.